So this is the screencast that I am talking about. How can you monitor the Spring Boot application? There's many examples, and how can to do the integration of the different microservices. And you see the pictures of like a monolithic application, microservice-based application, like this diagram, and you can see the pictures like here the Grafana, Prometheus, and so on and so forth. Those are who interested to monitor those applications, and then you can go this screencast and follow the step by step, and then I can get clear idea how the Spring Boot actuator works and how the micrometer works, and and then how the Prometheus and Grafana dashboard, you can build it and you can visualize the all things that you need into the you're monitoring the microservice application. Just follow that one. I believe that's helped really a lot to monitoring and visualizing on managing your application, microservices based applications. That's I mean. So we are here, so we checked what dependency we need, and we just hit the generate keys. Yeah, that's, you can see generate the keys, and that's all. If you can later that you can remove it. And so if you generate it, you see the zip file is generated. This is locally you can download the zip file and unzip it, and then do the unzipped it, and then import this jar file into the unzipped it, import this jar project into the your respective IDE. So depending which IDE you try to use it, Eclipse or any IntelliJ or other IDE, that's what you prefer into the your development activities. This depending on which type of activities. For our case, we used sometime in the IntelliJ, sometime in Eclipse. So we have the Eclipse, and we already import the Eclipse project into the Eclipse. You see that the project is there. So we import from our local directory, see the C directory, and then import the projects into the, if you see the here, you can so the properties, and then see this is the workspace, and then this is the project. We unzipped it here, this projects, and import the project from there. So it's see, I have the import new project, so you can import in Eclipse, import and select the microservice and the existing Maven projects, and then you can just look for these projects and then import it. I already did it, just you can get the idea. You just select the pom.xml file, and then you can see the pictures like how the pom.xml, and import the project into the IDE. Then you start the developments. So it's the most important one things that you need to get to know, clearly understand what I mean. How can you do? So let's minimize everything. So that means, that's I say, this is the really the professional structure of building your projects. Any enterprise project, any company, any part of the world. So if you generate the projects, you import it, and then you need to be really clearly structure it, or clearly packaged it, your applications. That's the systematic way. That's I say, this is the professional way to do. So if you have the import the projects, there will be the only this main method Java class. So it is annotated with the Spring Boot application. Okay, those who are not experienced about the basic annotation about Spring and Spring Boot annotation, please follow my previous screencast. There is this discussion with the basic annotations, the fundamental annotation. That's basically we need for the implementation of the REST services. That's you need to pick. There is only about 10 to 15 annotations, and that's all you can really quickly understand. I believe it. Just follow the previous one. So when you import the project, there's only main method class is automatically generated. This is the part you need to be handle yourself. This is, I mean, the structure of your packaging or structure, the standard structure or professional structure of your implementation of services or REST services. And that means you have the configuration package, you have a model package, you have a repository package, and you have a resource package, means controller package, and you have a service interface package, and you have a service implementation package. That means it's systematically packaged or systematic module your implementation. This is the really most important things when you start as a professional application, or doesn't matter when you start as your research or student projects or your thesis, or doesn't matter. This is the systematic way to build your projects and structure your projects. That's I mean. So that means when import the projects, it's automatically come to your main applications, like application main application class methods. And this is the main methods. The application started from here, and then you start the configuration. So this is the configuration packet that we did. And that's why I didn't try to write a live programming, because it's take really more time. That's we implement fast, and then I try to share with you. That's my intention, like that way. And those who are asking me the live programming, because it take time, we didn't have enough time to build the live programming, but you got the clear idea. We put it our source code into the big bucket. GitHub, you can from GitHub you can take this source code and look for this source code, but I believe you can get really clear pictures. So configurations, we just configuration scheme, component scans, and the enable Redis repository, enable Redis repository backend. So all the repositories is enabled here. You see the enable directory, and this is the one thing, and Redis configuration. So this is everybody knows. So it says value annotation. We have the key and key value, reading the data from the application.properties files. You see that there's the keys, all the Redis, Spring Redis port, Spring Redis host, and Spring Boot profiles, Spring application name, address, and port number 8009. So it is everything same here. That's I said everything is same. And this part I will talk a little bit later. But this the configuration that I said here, it's reading the configuration, the key and value pairs from your the application properties files, or test or real and QA, quality assurance, production and development, depending which external configuration files you try to overwrite on. That means where you try to install your application. So you read the properties, the host, the Spring Redis host and Spring Redis port, and then insert this value into these two variables, the string variables. One is the host is the string variables, and port is string variable. And then this is the very bin definitions, and the string Redis serializer. Just very simple. Just you define your new instance and return the new instance string Redis serializer. And then you have the Redis connections factory, and then you have the new instance of Redis Redis connection factory, and set the host and port number for the as like JDBC connections. This is the you just put it your host and port number externally from the application.properties, and then return the JDBC connection factory. And this Redis template, the most important one. So it has some key value pairs as a map, like Redis template, string objects, and Redis template, and we define the Redis template instance again, and set the connection factory. That's we define here these methods with the where it needs to be connected, the host and port, and this is the connection properties or privileges for the database or your backend server or in-memory backend server. So that means you just, if you install the locally, just local host and port number, which port are free into your local machines. When you install this means application into the USA or Canada or Australia or South Asia somewhere, and then you can put the host IP address and port number, available port number, those machines or these machines, and then you just simply overwrite from here, and then system will automatically read the properties files and then set the value and connect with the respective backend server or backend database or backend in-memory data structure. That's what I mean. So you got the idea. So you get the clear pictures what I mean. How can you start and how can you read the application properties files and then set and override the application.properties file as a Spring Boot